Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Talented Universe on this 25th day of September in 2025, 7 p.m. on the Eastern Time, 4 p.m. on Pacific Time, our third podcast today. If you missed any of our previous one, please look it up. We had another voice contestant on a couple hours ago. So please take a look. First, I'd like to welcome my co-host today. Liz, how are you doing?
I am wonderful, except for the fact that I just realized it is exactly 3 months till Christmas. Then I started panicking. But other than that, I'm good.
Well, that's good. I wish you hadn't told me that. I didn't really
sorry.
want to know, but it just shows how fast this year has gone.
Oh, I know.
It's just too awful. But I would like to welcome our guest today from the voice team, Niall, Jack Austin. Jack, how's it going for you today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, we're excited to have you. I'm going to go right into it and ask you something. I think Liz was going to ask you, but I think I'm going to, just to be mean and vicious. I usually ask the contestants when they get on that stage for the blind audition, how much did you remember after the blind audition?
Oh my goodness. I want to say maybe about 25% of it.
Oh, that much. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, around that range. Not a majority for sure. Went a little blank up there, but went into fight or flight mode, I think.
Well, most people do. I mean, it's stress, nerves, everything. So, I mean, I totally get that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad it's all on camera and recorded so I can watch it back, because otherwise I don't remember.
Have you seen it already?
Yes.
So you have seen it. Okay.
Yes.
And did you say, "Oh, that happened"?
There were some parts that I did not remember, and some coach commentary that I did not remember happening. So it was a wild ride to watch it back for sure.
Mm-hmm. I bet. Well, after I did that, now I'm going to go to Liz just so she can steal all my questions, like we usually do. So.
Well, no, not so much that, but I actually wanted to tie into something you had said, that you only remembered about 25%, which is amazing considering other people we've talked to are like, it was completely blank. I didn't remember it for like days later.
Okay.
But here's the question. You performed a Niall song. Did you know at the time you picked the song that Niall was going to be one of the judges?
At the time, I did not. And then when I found out he was going to be one of the coaches, I got a little nervous, but I was so excited because I was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. When do you ever get to sing an artist their own song,
Oh, I know.
So while it was very nerve-wracking, I was like, I got to go big or I got to go home,
It's like when you walked out on that stage, if you could remember any of it and knew that Niall was one of those 4 chairs, did you like freak out more than you would have if you'd have just walked out on stage and not know, that any of the judges or the coaches?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've looked up to all of them my whole life. They have such incredible careers in music out, and if I didn't know them, I think it would be a lot less pressure. I think that is the pressure, is that they're there and they're facing away from you and you want them to turn around so they can see you and enjoy your performance. But if it was just a crowd, I'm kind of used to performing for just any crowd. But when it's the coaches and they're as amazing as they are, that adds a lot of pressure.
Because I had noticed when you first came out, you seemed like you were a little bit nervous, doing the things. But then about halfway through, you kind of found your stride and got your comfortability, and you kind of flied from there. But looking back now on it and you doing a duet with Niall, I think that was phenomenal that you guys did the song together. And Reva was 100% right. She goes, I see a duet in your future. Is this, even though it was said kind of off the cuff from Reva, is this something maybe you'd like to do with Niall in the future?
Hey, if he wants to do it, I am there. I would love that. I feel honored to have gotten one chance to do it, but hey, I would sing with Niall any day, anytime.
Going back to the beginning of you, what influenced you in your artistry and want to become a singer? Just basic background.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to the pop radio every day to school, and I loved pop music. I loved pop culture. And then, but what really got me into it was when in fifth grade you had to decide whether to do choir or band. And I was so certain that I was going to play the saxophone in fifth grade band.
Mm-hmm.
And but they made us do these mock trials of each class, and we did band, and it was fun. And then we went to the choir class, and I met Mrs. Franklin, who was the choir teacher. And just in that 30 minutes, she completely changed my mind. She
Wow.
just, the way that she taught music, it was so intentional. And it just, the way she taught brought people together, and just a shared love of music and bringing to get people together through music. And just after that, I knew immediately, I'm like, I have to do choir. I have to do it. And then I started doing it, and I kind of found out that I had this singing voice that I didn't really know that I had. And then from there, I started pursuing other performing opportunities like theater. And then that's where I really fell in love with that. And I've done that since. And now I go to school for it. And, I do these other performing theater opportunities as well. But it definitely started in fifth grade with Mrs. Franklin. I owe it all to her, really.
Aren't music teachers and art teachers exceptional as far as what they do and take the time out, to teach our future artists, entertainers, a basic foundation of it? And, speaking of the fact of kids, and you learned so much from her, you developed your own project, the Vanity Theater. And I'm very curious, one, did you develop it because it was developed for children?
Mhm.
Was it because you didn't have that much opportunity other than what you were getting in school to broaden your horizons as a young person?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, growing up, I went to a small private school where we didn't have much performing opportunities. We didn't have theater, and there were limited opportunities within the community. And I would do these summer theater camps every year, and it was my favorite time of the year. And it's where I really felt that I was growing as a performer and a person too. You learn not only performance skills, but you learn so many other skills by doing camps like these and doing theater and getting up on stage in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And I credit that I credit that so much to how I got here today. And I'm able to do these things that I've dreamed of doing since I was a kid. And I wanted to give that back to my community because that's what my community gave to me. And I wanted to do it at a large scale. I wanted to do full-length musicals for 10 to 18-year-olds, which no one was doing in the area. And I wanted to do it with these extravagant costumes and sets because I didn't have that as a kid.
Yeah.
And that's what I dreamed of. And I think having that experience sets you up so well if you do want to pursue this as a career. So it's just my way of giving back to my community in a way, but at the same time, I enjoy it so much that I love to do it, and I love working with these young artists, and yeah, I just absolutely love it.
I think it's such a wonderful thing that you did, and I wish programs like what you created were more national based. I think it would be so, immensely beneficial. I mean, there are some cities, yes, of course, like New York, that has their own different programs with things along that same age genre. But there's other places, you look at Oklahoma, or I want to say Colorado, but Colorado's kind of starting to branch out as well with what you're doing. There needs to be more across the nation, especially for a lot of our youth that are very interested in doing this, but don't have the resources to do it. So,
Yeah. No,
Michael, I agree. Michael, I'm going to toss it to you.
Okay. I'm probably going to steal another one of her questions because she did mention it before we started. The records behind you. That is so cool. Is there any significance to the records that you have displayed, or is it just a random selection of what you may have come across?
So I got them from, I love retro things. I love that kind of vibe, and there's this website where you can buy damaged records to use as display. You know, you're not
Mhm,
damaging the
mhm.
records by putting them on the wall or anything. So I did that, and I just kind of picked through the ones that I thought had cool artwork on it. And yeah, so they're real records, but they don't work anymore.
They don't work anymore, right? Yeah.
as they should, you know. But I also have my own record player that I use for my own records.
So you still have a collection of the old records then?
I have a mix of some older records and some newer ones too, you know, because they made a comeback.
Yeah, vinyl did
Oh,
make a
yeah.
comeback. Yeah. Mhm.
And they're expensive too.
Yeah.
Vinyl sounds better than anything, you know. Both Michael and I come from the generation of, you know, vinyl. And then, you know, of course, it switched to other things, but I still prefer the vinyl.
There's something special about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different sound, and yeah, but it's just really nice to see that. So it's just like, wow.
Yeah. No, they're cool looking. I mean, yeah.
You know, let me go to Justin Fields in the chat room. He posted, in your pre-audition scene, you said you originated the off-Broadway in Boy on a Billboard. Can you compare and contrast the experience with being in The Voice? How is it alike and different in what ways?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing theater and I love singing pop music and writing my own music, but they have a lot of similarities, but they also have a lot of differences. When I'm on stage in theater, I'm not being myself. I'm portraying a character and living their life and their circumstances, and I love doing that. It's kind of escapism for me, you know. I get to be someone else for 2.5 hours or for however long, you know. But when I get to be on stage singing pop music, I'm just me. I get to be me, and I get to, you know, show myself in a way. And while I still do that in theater, it's very different, you know,
Yeah.
which has been really fun to do. Get to do, you know, live performances for pop music and getting to go on The Voice, because I'm so used to being someone else on stage. So it's been really fun. But I would say that's what makes it different. And you know, there are different things technique wise as a singer when you're singing musical theater versus pop as well. Musical theater is kind of more stick to what's written on the sheet music. In pop music, you kind of get to make the song your own in a way. So there's a lot of differences, but I love them both for what they are.
Now, have you ventured out too much just in regular acting, or have you stayed in the like theater, musical kind of veins of things?
Yeah. So musical theater is my home base, but I've been getting more and more interested recently into film work and film TV land, and just took a class last year at school for TV and film. So I like it. I really like it a lot. It's also very different from musical theater acting as well.
Just slightly, yes.
Believe it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I mean,
about the size of a 45 record, you know.
Yeah. I mean, when you're acting musical theater, they tell you to make sure the person in the back of the theater can understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
And hear what you're
You
saying.
project well enough to get out there.
Right. I mean, you have to give such big facial expressions that the person in the last row can see you. But when you're on TV, you're in a frame this big.
Yeah.
And you just have to scale everything back. Everything. It's really interesting.
We could tell you of a medium that they don't even scale it back, but we'll get to that after we go off the air, right? Right, Liz?
Yep, you were thinking the same thing I was.
Yes, I was. Another genre that we do a lot of people on our show is that what we were just talking about. So we'll talk about that after the show.
Okay, yeah.
That'll bore people, you know, that are here for your music and the voice, you know. Let me ask you this. If you had a choice to do something when you weren't doing music, when you were not doing a musical, you just had some downtime, what would you like to do? what interests you besides your biggies?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting when your hobbies become your career, right?
That's why I wanted to try to stress that not your career now.
I know. And
what do you have
whenever-
any other hobbies or things you like to do in your spare time?
Yes. Yeah. I love to get outside. I love taking walks. Most of doing music is inside, except if you're gigging outside. So I love to get outside just to go on a walk if it's nice outside. I like to be active and work out. But I also just love to spend time with family and friends too. You know, I'm such a people person, and I'm happiest when I'm surrounded by my loved ones. So yeah, but I need to find some other hobbies, basically.
Well, you don't need to, because I mean, honestly, when you start getting busy and you're writing and performing, that takes up a lot of your time. We've talked to other artists, and they just go, I don't have time to do anything. But then there will be, but you'll find something. But I'll go ahead now to Liz, since I know I've stolen many of her questions, but your microphone is muted, Liz.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
One thing I was going to tag on with you is all of your stuff with theater work, and you had mentioned, the pop music versus the theater world. Do you ever think of possibly combining them for you into something kind of like what Ariana Grande has done with Wicked and so many other artists that are predominantly pop artists, and they have brought that pop feel into a musical?
Absolutely. I always tell people, I'm like, you're the biggest pop artists started as theater kids, and they started in theater. You know, you have Ariana Grande, you have Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter. They all started doing theater, and I think there's a certain theatrical and storytelling element that they give to their music and their performances that is extremely special and makes them unique. So I think about that a lot, how I can blend both together. And I think and I want to do that on The Voice too. You know, I want to be able to connect with an audience and really share a story with the song. So absolutely. You know, I want to have a career like Ben Platt. You know, he does Broadway. He writes his own music and tours it. And he's done TV and film work too. I would be so grateful to do any of those kinds of work. So yeah, absolutely. And I think, like Ben Platt, he brings what he's learned from all of those experiences into each thing that he does, which is really unique.
No, you absolutely right on that. Here's a question for you, actually, regarding The Voice itself. And I know we've talked about, what did you remember when you came on and all that. But here's the question, going back even before then, how did you find out that you made it to the auditions, and did you believe it when you got it? We have heard stories from other people that are like, no, that's fake. That's my friend calling to prank me and do different things. So how did you find out?
So I was working with one of the casting people. You know, they just get your information and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was actually in Texas working on Boy on Billboard, that new original musical. And I had gotten out of the shower and I looked at my phone and I saw that I had a missed call from this casting person. And I went, oh my goodness. Because they had let me know that if I was going to hear this week, they were going to let me know either way. But so I was like, oh my goodness. So I put a towel on and I was like, and I called, and, they're like, oh, I just want to confirm some of your information. Like, this is the right address and airport. And just to let you know, you're going to be on The Voice. You're going to get to do a blind audition. And I was just so overjoyed. It was insane. I will never forget that feeling.
That's really cool. I like that. One thing that when I was listening to your audition when you did it, I kept hearing Riley Tate in your voice. And Riley was on season 23 under Nile as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if you have heard his work or not, but you really kind of gave that same essence coming through. And it really surprised me. And so I was really glad that you wound up being on Elstein for multiple different reasons, but for that
Yeah.
as well. So
That was interesting. I'll have to go back and watch his performances.
yeah, you would be surprised with different things that you see. I have
Okay.
the weirdest question for you.
Okay.
I know you're from Battle Creek, Michigan.
Mhm.
Okay. And I have, like I said, told you off here, I have a lot of family that are from Michigan all around that particular area and others. And the one thing that they keep telling me, and it's similar to me, I live next to a Wonder Bread bakery until they shut it down. How much cereal do you still eat, or are you sick and tired of the smell coming from it, even though they're doing the suppressors? You know,
Uh-huh.
are you still going like, okay, I'll go ahead and eat a cereal? Or are you just like, yeah,
I go through cereal phases, is what I've learned. Is I'll eat cereal for a bit and then I'll get sick of it. And then I'll like switch to like bagels and cream cheese and just other breakfast foods. And then every now and then I'll just have some cereal. And also I'll eat cereal for dessert sometimes, like just as a
oh
late
yeah.
night snack, you know? Some of them are so sweet that you can just they taste like dessert. But yeah, I mean, I don't eat a ton of cereal, and that is probably like the worst thing to say coming from the cereal capital. But yeah, but I mean, I would wake up in the morning going to school, and our house wasn't too far away from where they made it, and I would just smell different cereals in the air, and it was so cool. I can just remember like a crisp morning going to school and have a sweet smell in the air.
See, I get that, and I love baked bread, the smell of baked bread. But
Yeah.
once you're exposed to it continuously, it was like, do I really want to do it? And I'm a baker. I used to bake bread as well, not
Okay.
just personally.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, okay, do I really even want to do that? Because no, I'm tired of the smell, and I don't want to eat a slice of Wonder Bread to save my life. Not to say
Right.
Wonder Bread is not wonderful. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that. It was just my own experience of it. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Michael, I'm going to toss it back to you real quick.
Okay. Jack, is there anything that you would like to do? A play you would like to do? A musical you would like to do? That that either you haven't done, and to top that off, where would you like to perform it? Country, city, or whatever. I knew I just took her question, but that's fine.
The musical that really made me fall in love with theater was Hairspray. When I saw the Hairspray movie and I saw Zac Efron singing and dancing and acting, I was like, I want to do that. I want to be Zac Efron. So I would love to be in a revival of Hairspray at some point. Maybe on Broadway. I don't know. That would be
go
cool.
for Broadway. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty dancey show, and I can move a little bit. So, but that's like one of my all-time favorite musicals. So I would say Hairspray revival on Broadway.
How good is your dancing?
I would say it's pretty good. I honestly, my best dancing comes out at like weddings when I just get to like groove and freestyle. But when it starts getting choreographed,
it's a little tougher.
It's a little tougher, but no, I take so many dance classes here at school as part of the musical theater training. So I can dance. I can dance.
Yeah, well, I guess you really have to in a musical theater. So
yeah, for sure.
You don't really have a choice, or it's some different kind of musical that they're doing. So
yeah,
not a typical one. Let's see, what was it? So you like to take walks. Do you have any pets or no?
I do not have any pets right now. No. I mean, I had a dog growing up, and I had a turtle, and I had a hamster at one point, but
but nothing right now. Huh?
Nothing right now. I want a dog so bad, but I'm in school, and
that makes it tough. Yeah.
I keep telling my parents to get a dog, but they travel a lot, so.
Because you're out of the house, and so then now they go travel, or what?
Yeah. Well, they're both retired now. They worked really hard to be able to retire early. So they're snowbirds. They go to Florida in the winter and then
Oh, okay.
come
Yeah.
back to Michigan for the summer. But that's what they've worked for their whole life. So it's really awesome that they get to do that.
What
Well,
part of Florida?
They're near like Sarasota area.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. That's cool. So I'm trying to think of something else that you would want to do. Let's see.
I would love to do my own music one day. That's like, I would love to do that.
Well, you might be able to pretty soon. You never
I know. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Now, how many songs do you have out? I'll tell you the truth. I have not looked yet. I have been so busy with getting all the voice people set up.
Yeah.
I haven't done much research, but do you have some songs out that people can listen to?
Yeah, I have 4 singles out right now that I've released over the time span of like 5 years, I want to say. And yeah, I'm working on some exciting stuff now that will be coming in the future. So yeah, I love writing music. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Do you have a special theme that you like to write, or is it just whatever you're feeling at the time?
It's definitely led by what I'm feeling. I would say mostly pop, but like kind of like I was saying earlier, I think there is a bit of a theatrical edge to it, just storytelling wise. So yeah, but I would say mainly pop.
Okay. Liz, I'll throw it back to you. So,
I
know.
That's okay. This question actually kind of ties in with what you were just saying, Michael. Besides Niall, who would you maybe like to actually do an album with, or at least a song with?
Besides Niall?
Yes.
One of the coaches or anyone?
Anybody.
Oh. That is a good question. I would love to do a song with Olivia Rodrigo. I gotta work up to that level of fame, but
yeah.
I think she just writes incredible, beautiful music. I particularly love her ballads. I think they're very, very emotional and just really great lyricism.
Speaking of that, you said you do like the ballads better, but do you have I know we're doing pop and keep that along the lines of pop, but where do you kind of lean? Do you lean more toward the ballads, or do you lean more toward the, I wouldn't want to say bubblegum pop because that's not really accurate anymore.
Yeah.
Where exactly do you lean as far as your music?
I definitely lean towards the ballads. I love upbeat songs too, both singing and writing, but I would definitely say that ballads are like the comfort spot for me.
I think those work well with you with your storytelling and then your theater background, because you can emote so much feeling into your body and your face coming through. It's almost like you're acting out the emotions of what the words are being said and sung.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I show a lot of emotion on my face when I sing. Sometimes people will send me pictures of me singing. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, I can't look at that. I'm making a weird face every time.
But that's where the feeling comes through to the song, that the audience can connect with it. And that is the main thing, is you need to connect to your audience and get them feeling something, or else it's just, okay, it's just another throwaway song out there. Yeah, it's good. It's technical. But where's the emotion bond behind it?
For sure, yeah.
I'm trying to think. There was a couple other questions that kind of were there, but I think a couple of our people in the chat room kind of already touched on, and I really don't want to touch more on them and take away their thunder type of thing. So at this point, I'm probably going to say we're getting probably pretty close to wrapping up, and I did want to say thank you so much for taking your time to be with us, and I really hope to see you a whole lot more, going forward, whether it be on The Voice, or whether it be releasing your albums, or whether it be we get to see a lot of you, through the theater. So
thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really excited for just everything coming up, and everyone keep tuning into The Voice. It's an awesome season with just the most talented and just the most incredible people that I've had the pleasure to meet. So yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been so fun.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, but it's probably not as crazy as what was going on between the coaches with them throwing Skittles at each other and all sorts of other things
I
behind the
know.
scenes. I mean,
They're funny. That's one thing I didn't realize. They are just hilarious, and they just banter
are.
and bicker. It is so funny.
it's like all of a sudden you walked into the house with a bunch of siblings.
I was gonna say
And
they
they
act
just-
like little kids a little bit.
They do. They really do.
In the best way ever.
Yeah. It's so fun for us as the audience to watch, and knowing there's so much more that goes on behind it that we don't get a chance to see. I think everybody needs to do a bloopers reel, including all of the contestants that have come on. They really need to do a bloopers reel for everything.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
Michael,
yeah. Golf for Food posted something, but he spelled something wrong and he changed it the next thing. But you'll understand. He wanted to say, "Go Jack, good luck on Team Nile." But
Oh my goodness.
his finger slipped.
That's
and-
okay.
And he tried to put it, but he still, yeah. See, go Jack. See, that's.
There you go. Thank you so much.
And I totally get the
you do.
slipping of the finger.
Oh, me too.
But Jack, no, really, it was a pleasure having you on. And later in the season, or when everything's gone, and if you've got new stuff coming out, we'd love to have you back on to promote it if you'd like to.
Absolutely, I'd love to. I'd love to come back.
Yeah, then we can see if you've added to your background or not. Like
Yes,
another
definitely.
row.
Yes.
Or,
I know. There's not much room to go for more records. but
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
whole
Or you'll have,
row down underneath.
well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, or you move some stuff, so.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, it just depends what you want to do. But thank you very much, Jack, and stay on because we wanted to talk to you about something else off air.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everyone else, thank you all for coming. Check our schedule, subscribe to us so you don't miss anything. We've got at least one guest coming from The Voice tomorrow and several next week. So please check our schedule so you can see what's coming up. So everyone take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.